I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are in the world today. Good morning, this is Inga, and I am known as the Networking Ninja. I am the CEO and founder of We Got This Admin, and I am an executive administrative consultant and networking coach. Today is episode 29 of Inspiration from Inga, and we will be talking about the power of networking. I have an awesome guest that I'm bringing on to introduce you to, and he will be sharing his perspective on networking and how he does it. He is an amazing person, and I've learned so much from him just by observing the way he conducts himself. So, without further ado, let's talk about the topic. So, as I mentioned, we will be talking about networking and the power of it. But I also want to point out to you that um, one of my focus words and the principle upon which I live my life is Ubuntu. You would have noticed it in my intro video if you've seen it. And what does Ubuntu mean? Well, Ubuntu is an ancient African word and it means humanity to others. It is often described as reminding us that I am what I am because of who we all are. And I believe that most of you would have heard the phrase, we are the sum of the five people around us. Well, for me, I take it a step further because I believe that because of Ubuntu, I am who I am because of everyone I have encountered in my life, as well as all of the experiences that I've had. And just like Ubuntu, networking is something where it's something that we do because we're interacting with others, right? So here is the dictionary definition of it. It says that networking is the action or process of interacting with others to exchange information and develop professional or social contacts. And I love to see networking in the comments. So please, if you are watching this live, please drop us a comment and let us know. Let us know also where you're tuning in from. We're going a little bit broader than North America today because my guest is from over the waters. Without further ado, I will introduce him to you.
Hello, hello.
Good morning, Alan. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I shouldn't say morning to you because it's afternoon where you
Yes,
are.
it is afternoon here in Ireland. Yes, indeed. It's just gone after 1:30 in the afternoon. So, how are you?
Awesome. Our day is just beginning and you're almost done with yours. So
Halfway there. Halfway there. Nearer to the weekend than you.
yes, I know, right? It's almost 5 o'clock.
Well,
um, Ellen, can you please introduce yourself to the audience and let them know who you are and what you do?
Well, as the title says there, I'm Alan Hennessy. I'm the digital mentor. So yes, so that's what I do. I help people, I suppose, navigate the digital landscape, and yeah, so it's all about helping people understand that digital marketing and digital is not something to be scared of. It's just something to be embraced and can open up so many different opportunities. And I do training and so on and so forth. I have two podcasts, and I'm also one of the co-founders of the Global Tea Break. So yeah. So yeah, lots going on, and as well as that, I'm also an NLP master as well. So loads to talk about.
Yes, loads. Could you tell us a little bit about NLP?
NLP, neuro linguistic programming. It really is. It's all about understanding the mind, and that's key to, I suppose, communication, connection, and everything that we do. So it's about understanding. And so I was fascinated by it. I went to a good friend of mine, Danielle Serpico. She's the black belt mastermind, and she is an NLP master. She's an incredible lady.
Mhm.
And I went to her boot camp. She asked me to go. She said, "Oh, just come along." And I went along and I was hooked. And I ended up doing a practitioner's course with her and then going on and doing a master's in NLP. So it's about understanding how the mind works, how you work, how you talk, what you do, your actions, and the way that you carry yourself. And it's really, really, it's a powerful tool to have. And I would encourage anyone to look into it and even read a number of books. Richard Bandler is probably the most known person about that has he sort of, I wouldn't say invented it, but he sort of developed it and has been moved on from then. And it is just, it's incredible. It's so interesting understanding the way the mind works and the way the, I suppose the conscious mind is 7% and the unconscious mind is 93%. So what you want to be trying to do is with the conscious mind would be is okay, I have to speak. The conscious mind works on, I have to speak into the microphone here, so I need to stick close to it. Whereas the unconscious mind can start thinking and can start developing, so understanding what's going on around you. So there's a huge part of that which is very, very important in everything that we do, because we it's how we restore, we store information, and how we can go back to something like you may have say, something that you might have thought of 6 months ago, or something that someone may have said something to you 6 months ago, and all of a sudden you'd be walking along and you go, "Oh, do you remember that?" And that's your unconscious mind. It's not your conscious mind. So it's all about understanding, and it's just fascinating what we can retain. But
Yeah.
look, I could sit here and talk about it all day and dig deeper into it.
A very fascinating topic. I'm very interested in it. We can talk about this offline. But if you're watching this and you'd like to check out what Alan does, that's his website, scrolling across the bottom. And if you are tuning in from LinkedIn, you can connect with Alan. Here's his link. Um, let's just pop into the comments and say hello to the people that are watching. So, oh wow, quite a few comments. I see Gail, our mutual
Hello.
connection. She says hello to you, Alan. Yes, you're our global tea break friend. Yes, thank you, Gail. Thank you for tuning in to Networking Peeps here that know the power of global connections. Awesome. Thank you for being here, Gail. And hello to you, Janine. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know where you're tuning in from, please. And then we have Raghuram. Thank you so much. He's tuning in from India and he says, good evening.
Good evening
So,
to you.
quite the time difference there. And we have S. Raman. Thank you for tuning in. Nice to see you. You as well, Naval. Thank you. And good morning from New Jersey, from John. Hello, John. Thank you for being here. Oh, Good evening from Uganda, the pearl of Africa.
Hey.
I'm South African, so I'm not sure I can agree.
Well, we'll 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 agree to disagree, as they say.
Yes, we shall. Can you let us know your name? It's not displaying on the comments because it's not pulling that information from LinkedIn. But thank you for tuning in. And good evening to you. Namaste from India. Thank you, Ashish, for tuning in. Nice to see you. And then, oh, wow. Somebody else from the UK. This is Andreas, and he says, "Good afternoon, dear Inga, from the beautiful North Norfolk coast of the UK." Oh, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm so glad that you can listen to your fellow UKan.
I'm
Thank you for
actually
being here.
Irish. I'm actually from Ireland, so I'm across the water again,
Across
but
the water,
closer,
not yes.
close,
Hello.
close,
He says hello to
close,
Alan
close,
also.
close to Norfolk.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. And hello, Simeon. Thank you for tuning in. Naval says hello from India. And Simeon is from Tanzania. So thank you for being here. And Dr. Efrain Lopez, hello, hello. Thank you for being here and tuning in. Nice to see some new faces. If you're tuning in and you find this conversation valuable, please send me a message and also connect with one another. It's so important to keep networking. That's okay. Not an issue at all. Thank you, Andreas. He says he's following you. And
Great stuff.
hello, Jenny. She's tuning in from Facebook. Um, and Jenny is from Denver, Colorado. Thank you, Jenny, for being here. And wow, Cheryl. Oh my word. Cheryl, you and I have not spoken in a long time. We used to work together in the corporate world, actually. And I left the corporate world in 2018. So it's been a long time. Thank you for tuning in. Good to see you. And oh, Dr. Efrain says he's tuning in from Herndon, Virginia. Thank you for being here. So let's get on with our topic, Alan. You and I, we can talk about many things, but since this show is called Inspiration from Inga, I'd like to ask you, what inspires you?
What inspires me? Well, I'm going to be very, very, very simple and say this: people inspire me,
Mm,
and meeting people, and reaching out, and like the beauty of it is now with the world and the way that we're positioned, and with social media, digital, and all that type of stuff, we're now, as a good friend of mine who I've worked with many a time used to say, Howard Hughes used to say, geography is history. We can be anywhere in the world that we want to be, and that's the beauty of it. Where I think that that's my inspiration. My inspiration is to look at what people do, and see how I can help them. And I really believe that that's what you put on this in this world to do, is to
mhm.
be able to inspire and help and understand and connect with people, because it's so important that we do this. So I think my inspiration would be that, and I suppose also my love of my family, and also of the people around me as well. So, and it's that's all that really inspires me. But it's enough, I think it's enough.
Love makes the world go round. It can really propel us to be able to do things that
Mm.
sometimes we feel like we could, if you think about it, like 5 years ago, would you have even thought it possible to be in the space that you are today? um Not
Yeah,
me.
yeah, and it's very true. Like, and like, look, I look at, you know, and I use the example of, say, the global tea break.
Mhm.
Right, I was sitting at home, and you know the story already, but for anyone who doesn't, I was sitting at home one day, and I was working out of my office at home, which was a box room, and I hadn't spoke to anyone in a couple of days because I was so busy, head down as I worked for myself. And I just put out on Twitter and saying, does anyone want to have a cup of tea? Because everyone says cup of coffee or water cooler moments, and I say a cup of tea simply because I live in Ireland and we
Yes.
drink a lot of tea. So I says, anyone want to jump on a call and just have shoot the breeze and have a chat? And our good friend D. Scott Smith says, I'll do it. And we literally did jump on that call that afternoon and we had a great chat. And we says, wouldn't this be great if we opened this up to the world and invited other people? And that
Yes.
is how sort of the global tea break started. But since then, we have met so many incredible people within that tea break. And I'm not trying to push it in any shape or form.
No.
I'm just saying the sense of community there and the sense of friendship that has grown over the last number of years with it has really been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So I think that's a really big part of it.
Yes. Love is definitely something that will propel us forward. And, I'm proud to say that I'm part of the Global Tea Break.
Mm,
It's an amazing opportunity to just connect with people and get to know them on a less superficial level, right?
yeah,
Because a lot of the time we connect and that's where it ends. But,
yeah.
it's so important to get to know people and to learn from one another.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like it's great to be able to sit and talk to so many people from around the world. And I always find it fascinating to find out about what's going on in people's worlds and what's going on that they're doing. And it gives you inspiration to be able to say, wow, that's something I never would have thought about, or have a viewpoint on it or whatever. And it opens up a whole discussion and opens up a whole new worlds of interest to different people.
Yes, it certainly does, and I can definitely say for me, um, I would not be where I am today if not for the people that I've encountered in my life, really.
Hmm.
But let's go on to the next question because I'm already seeing some comments. So who is or was your role model, especially growing up? Can you tell us about them and why they inspired you, please?
I suppose my role model will always go back to my my sadly departed mother. She
Mm,
was always my role model in everything I did. She was just a powerhouse in the house, and I'm an only child, so I got all of the attention, which was great, but it was never a case of automatically when people say to you, "Oh, you're an only child. Oh, you must have been spoiled." No, I wasn't, and the reason, yes, obviously, as a child, as a young child, yes, you were, but as I started to grow up and started to go out and work, it was like money on the table, whatever. So there was no, but at the same token, I suppose she inspired me in a sense, and became my role model because of I just see the way she conducted herself and the way she worked hard and the way she loved her family and the way she just was always given. And
mm.
that would be one of my biggest inspirations. And that's where I think it's so important. I think it's important to have, as you say, a role model. Like I know we can talk about people that you've seen on the TV or people that you admire, and that's great. But are they really in touching distance? Probably not.
Yeah,
So, I think it comes back to the home and it comes back to the basic stuff, that people around you, that is so important, you know.
it is. One of my favorite quotes is by Kevin Cruz, and I'll display it for you. He says, "Life is about making an impact, not an income."
Totally. Totally.
And
Yeah.
I think for anybody who identifies someone as their role model, that person has impacted them.
Yeah.
So it's so important for us to then look at how we can impact other people, right?
Mm. And on that point life is about making an impact, not an income. If you make an impact, the income will follow.
Oh
You
my
know,
gosh. You haven't heard me say that, but that is something that I actually say in follow up to
it
this
is,
quote,
but
and
it
it is so
is,
true.
it's so true. You know, like if you go out, it's like everything. If you go out searching for something, you're never going to find it. But if you make something happen,
Yes.
that's when the magic begins. And you know, I always say it, and especially in business, I say I don't do it for the money. I do it for what I enjoy from what I enjoy doing. And yes, the money is the added bonus, and we all have to live, and of course, we understand that. But you have to have an income. But at the same token, you must enjoy what you do, because if you don't enjoy what you do, you're never going to be happy. You're always going to be searching for that dream. You're always going to be searching for that next thing or that. So, you know, I always say, you know, don't wait till it's perfect. Just do it, because perfection will never come. Because every time you think you've reached the perfection, you'll say, "No, it could be a bit better. It could be a bit." So you know,
Yes.
that's a big part of what you know. So we've got to think about it that way.
Yes, we do. And you're so right in that you're saying that perfection will never come. We just
No,
have to start. We
no.
just have to start. I have a life statement that I live by, and that is to positively impact the lives of others. Do you have a life statement, and if so, what is it?
No, I wouldn't so much have a life statement, but what I do have is I have a saying that I always say is to be kind and to be personal, you know, and be in the moment, not be thinking of, okay, well, what do I have to do this afternoon, or when I'm talking to someone, you know, give that person your full attention, because you know they've made the decision to talk to you, or made you've made the decision to talk to them, so be there. So I think it's also about as well being personal and understanding that, you know, not everyone's the same, and everyone has different opinions, but at the end of the day, we fundamentally want to be liked and to be loved and to be, you know, to become friends. So I think it's very important that we understand that, and that we are personal. And will always be personal. And I suppose if you were to say to me, what would I live by? I always say, if I can get up in the morning and make someone smile, then my job is done. And
Amazing.
there you have it. You've just made my job.
That's amazing. Wow. There's so much that you can tie into that, but there's a quote that I want to share with you, and it's about networking. It's by Dr. Ivan Misler, and he says, networking is more about farming than it is about hunting. It's about cultivating the relationships.
Yeah.
And that's what you were just saying, just be personal. Um, give that person your time 100%, right? Because that's how you get to know one another and how you develop relationships.
Mm.
Really, truly. Let me and I here is saying about cultivating relationships. One of my friends that was in the comments earlier, who is John Biglino, he says, hunt the relationship.
Mm. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like, you think about it. If you go to a networking meeting, okay, what are you going there for? You're
Mm,
going there to network. You're going there to talk. So strip back all of saying, okay, I'm looking for business, or I want to get business, because at a networking meeting, you will never get business. Okay.
wow.
You will never, unless there's someone looking for that service at that networking meeting, you are not going to. But what you are going to get is a referral at a
Yes.
networking meeting. And the referral is where the business is done, because at the end of the day, when we go to networking meetings, we should never be looking to sell. We should be
Mm,
looking to connect. You know, I use the analogy, and I always bring everything back to, you know, real life. Is like, if I walked into a networking meeting and you're standing there, Inga, and I just walk straight up and I said, here, sign this contract for me and work with me. I know exactly what you're going to say. You're going to say, on your bike. See ya. Good luck. Bye.
Right?
Whereas if I walk up and I say to you, Inger, what's going on with you today? How are you? So
Mm,
what do you do?
mm,
Make it all about the person that you're talking to,
mm.
because you can also find out so much information from that, that without you having to even try and pull that information out, they will tell
Okay.
you straight away. But it's about that connecting and being part of that community and being part of that situation, where it's not about the sale or about the thing. It's about finding out who this person is. What can I do to help them? Is there a problem that I can solve? And the more
Yes.
you listen, the better it is for you.
Wow. Something that, so I have three kids, and something that I teach them, and what was taught to me when I was growing up by my mom, is that we have two ears and one mouth. So we need to listen twice as much as we speak.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
And yes, it's so important when you listen, because then you know how to address what somebody is facing, the problems that they're facing, right? I would like to just pop over to the comments. And if you're watching this, I can see there are people on YouTube, and I haven't seen any YouTube comments come in yet. If you're watching on YouTube, please drop us a note and let us know where you're tuning in from. And also, anybody that's here that's watching live, let us know if you have any questions for Alan. Um, Definitely, Alan, you are a powerhouse, and I'm really enjoying the conversation. So let's just acknowledge some people. Ali Reza, he says, "Hello, friends. I am from Iran." So, hi. Thank you for tuning in. Gail is in the comments. And she says, "Powerhouse duo here today. Both know how to sign up, suit up, and show up." That's Gail's three-step process. Anybody that wants, especially in the manufacturing industry, if you are looking for a way to tell your story, Gail can help you do that. Um, and I see a LinkedIn user says, "You're killing it, Inga. Please let me know your name. I don't have access to your name at this point, but thank you." Gail says, "For you, I think this is for you, Alan."
Have a cup.
And good
I
morning.
will.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Shri. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Are you at home today? Nice to see you here. And Dorothy says good morning too.
Ah,
Hi, Dorothy. Nice to see you. She's been at the Global Tea Break, correct?
yeah, I've been on her live show as well. So she's we great fun that night that we were on. Her friend was, I think she was in Aspen or something like that.
Oh,
But we
wow.
were having great fun, and she was showing us all the sites. So it was a really good show.
Nice. And Rizwan says, good evening, everyone. Rizwan, let us know where you're tuning in from, please. And Kampamba says, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, Kampamba. And you, Legia. Oh my gosh. Good morning, my sister. Um, you know, I will tell you, Alan, I am one of three kids. And so I have two brothers. And my whole life, I longed for a sister. And in the last while, I should say maybe about a year, I have gotten to know so many wonderful women that I consider to be my sister, including Ligia, Gail, Shri that's tuning in. There's so many of them, and it it's been amazing because I prayed for a sister for such a long time, especially when I was a kid. And I remember when my second brother was born, my dad called to say, you have a baby brother. And I remember starting to cry and handing the phone over to my other brother because I didn't want to hear it. Because I can tell you, throughout that pregnancy, I knew that my mom was going to have a baby, and I would certainly kneel and pray and ask God to please send us a sister, not a brother. Well, my prayers have been answered now.
Well, there you go.
Yes. Shri says, yes, just go out there and do it.
Totally.
Exactly. Exactly. And some wonderful networking going on in the comments. I love to see this. Shri says hello to Ligia and Jamie as well. I guess LinkedIn user is probably Jamie. I think so. Um, and oh my gosh, I see. So Robert Johnson is one of the persons that is. So Robert is an amazing person also to connect with. By the way, um, wow, I he is the person that got me started on LinkedIn. I was
Cool.
using LinkedIn for years, and he is the person that mentored me and helped me to really start using LinkedIn in a better way.
Yeah.
So thank you, Robert. Go ahead.
LinkedIn is just so powerful. It's just so powerful, and people don't realize what how much that you can do. I've been an advocate of LinkedIn for the last 10 years. I've
Wow.
always said it. It's always been my platform. If someone said to me in the morning, if you had to pick one platform and the one platform tomorrow for social media that you can only, I just hands down, I wouldn't even think about it. It'd be straight off LinkedIn, because I just think there's so much power in it, and there's so much stuff that you can do, and
Mm,
you can learn so much and connect with so many people and amazing people in business, you know and not so much even to do business with them, but just to learn from their creativity, learn from their experiences. It's absolutely incredible. I think it's anyone that's not on it, and a lot of people I always hear will say, oh, I'm scared of LinkedIn in case I put a foot wrong, and I'm going, well, look, think about it. It's a business to business platform, so
yes.
you know but I think it has changed. It's changing slightly. It's
Yes, it is.
becoming more human, to be honest with you. And I think that's it. Now look, don't get me wrong, we don't want the pictures of your cats or your dogs or your dinner on it, because it's not the place to be. But it is a place for inspiration, and I see a lot of people sharing a lot of fantastic content, and also connecting. I mean, the amount of people that I have connected and done business with, and even learned from and had on my podcast and on my live shows, has been great. It's an opportunity for you to meet people
Yeah.
that you would have never thought you would have been able to get to. You know, two platforms of choice: LinkedIn and Twitter. They're the two. They're my babies. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people like Instagram, and TikTok, but well, I wouldn't be. I'm of a vintage where I wouldn't be. I'd be more interested in it. Like like my daughter's on TikTok, and she says, "If you ever go on TikTok, Dad, I'm getting off it." So I went, okay. So you know,
Oh my gosh.
so
Well, if
so I think I'm gonna have to just to annoy her.
right, that's what we're here for as parents.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, totally, totally, totally. You
Oh
know.
my gosh. If TikTok is definitely a beast that I choose to lurk instead of being
Mm,
on there and putting out content because it's very challenging when you think about
mm,
it because how do you know what is the best content to put out on TikTok? At least
yeah.
I know with LinkedIn, I can speak to different topics, and I can speak a little bit about myself as well, and it's well received.
Mm.
But
Well,
on
I'm working.
TikTok,
I'm working. I'm working on a project at the moment
ooh,
where I'm actually looking at using TikTok for a particular aspect of it. So I'm sort of just training myself on it at the moment. I'm just reading everything and soaking up all the information and watching, and I'm saying, I see how that. So watch this space.
oh,
I won't. I won't be doing all the dances now or anything like that, or doing that. But I will be. I will be doing something with it. But yeah,
it's
watch
a
this
good,
space.
if you think about it, like what I've seen from TikTok, many people have blown up on there and
Oh,
had so
huge.
many sales as a result of it, right? But yeah, I'm no, no, I'm
Yeah.
okay. I'm okay.
We just we'll just dip our toe into the water and just have a little look and see.
I
I'll do it for us, Inga, and
okay,
and then
thank you.
I'll get you know how I got on.
Yes, let me know how it goes. And I
But
have it.
here we have Gail here. We have Gail here.
Yay.
She's the TikTok queen. I
So
never
talk
laugh
to
so
her.
much as I do when I look at all her TikToks. They're just
Oh my,
incredible.
yes, her TikToks are incredible. Let's just finish up with the comments. Shireen, hello Shireen, nice to see you. She says, Ellen, you're so spot on. Be kind and forgiving. Um, and Rizwan says, everywhere is morning, it's evening here. I guess you're tuning in from India, but let us know, Rizwan. Thank you for being here. Um, and some awesome comments happening in the net in with networking in the comments area. So love to see that. And I will say, John says, when I'm in a meeting, I try to make it the best part of the other person's day.
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
that's a great thing. That's so spot on.
Yes. And that's his hashtag hunt relationships all
Mm.
day, he says.
Yeah, we'll have to
Yes.
start using that. I think that's a great hashtag to use.
Yes. Hunt relationships. Um, love to see the interactions. It's so beautiful. Lygia says meaningful and genuine interactions. Yes, that's what we strive for, and that's what we should be striving for when we connect with one another. Cheryl says so true. Cheryl, thank you for tuning in. You and I, please let's connect again. Alan, you are spot on about giving. The more we give, the more we receive. Exactly.
Mm.
To be selfless is indeed a virtue. Empathy is all powering and a wonderful thing.
Yeah,
I
totally.
just, wow. Thank you, Andreas. He says he's loving this amazing broadcast. Yeah. Alan, honestly, I knew Alan would bring so much value for us. So I'm so glad that you're here, Alan. And here, Ligia says, treating each other with respect and compassion. We are not machines.
Mm, exactly. And it's like I always say, like when we're doing stuff online, you've always got to remember that at the other end of that computer, there is a person.
Yes.
So, always remember that. Always have that in mind when we're talking online.
Yes. Gaurav says, good morning and good evening, everyone, to my LinkedIn community. Thank you for being here, Gaurav. So awesome to see so many people. Andreas is getting to the TikTok. I wanted to get to the spot.
Okay, that's a deal, Andres. That is a deal. If I go on TikTok, I will also do so and follow you. Okay.
Ligia
I
says,
think I feel a challenge coming on there.
oh my word. Oh, speaking of challenges, last week I had a solo broadcast because, as you know, it was the tea break.
That's
So
right.
yeah, so I came on my own without a guest, and I was speaking about the value of LinkedIn, and out of that came a challenge, and I will speak about that later on. So remind me, I'm going to speak about my challenge. We will be doing a video challenge, and it's free for anybody that wants to join. I've already put a post out about it, but we'll talk about it a little bit later. And hello to you, Alden. You're tuning in. Thank you for being here. Alden is the CEO and founder of H2HB, which is Heart to Heart Business.
Oh, I love it. Oh, we
I
must
am,
connect. We
yes,
definitely must connect.
yes, connect with him. He's tuning in from Facebook, but I'll introduce the two of you to one another. Alden is, I'm also part of H2HB. I'm the executive director for North America and I sit on the board. for H2HB. So, yes, please, let's connect. I'll connect the two of you with one another. And we have one more person tuning in um, from South Africa. This is Raven. She says, "You got this." Thank you for tuning in, Raven. So, Alan, let's get back to our topic. um, so, we've spoken about the inspiration part. Now, what is your take on networking? I think we've already spoken a little bit about it, but what is your take with regards to networking?
I just think that networking is so important, and the reason why I say it's so important because networking is about building communities. And a lot of people sort of say, "Oh, community," and that word is bantered around, but I do honestly believe that through networking, you build your community, and you also get invited into other people's communities, and community is so important. And I always say it as is that, and I say it all the time on the tea break is what we built out the tea break, and we started it up, and we're now, I think we're over 200, 300 people strong. And the thing about that is and I say it every month, is that
Mhm.
okay, myself and Scott, we founded it, and we put it together, but
Yes.
it is not ours. It is
Mm,
the communities. The
mm,
whole of the whole global tea break ethos is it belongs to everyone. It's not belong to any one person, and that's how the community has grown so much. And people trust each other, and they like each other, and they know each other, and that is networking at its
mm,
essence.
mm.
Because what we do is we have to understand that we want to be part of something as opposed to just being told that you have to do something. And when we start to think of that and think of networking that way as part of a community, and look, I've been to so many networking events
Mm.
and so many networking events that I've gone, "Ugh, I'm not going back to that because it's just the same thing. It's the same people trying to sell to me. It's
Yes.
like, you have people that come up to you and you say, I'm not interested in buying that. And they walk away, and you never see them again. No, look, I know that's some people's prerogatives, but I still think, if you're going to a networking meeting and you're going with that type of thinking,
Yeah.
you're never going to enhance your own network.
Yeah.
If that way, you got to be willing to help, understand, chat, find out, because as I said before,
Mm.
the more you talk, the more you learn, and the more you learn, the more you can better yourself. And there's like, I've been to many's a networking meeting where someone has said something to me, and I went, I never thought about it that way. And I went off and I went off and I worked on that particular aspect of it and brought it back, and it was a huge success. But like that, I would have never ever thought of it if I hadn't have been listening and
Yeah.
having them conversations. And I
Yeah.
think that's why building your network, whether that be offline or online, and there's so many different communities and so many different ways of, building an online community. It's not just about, you know, the global tea break, or being on a Zoom call with a lot of people, like Twitter chats, all these, even the types of this show. This is a community that's building. This is a
Mm.
network. And as you said, there's so much network going on in the chat there at the moment. So I think it's so important that we take that time out and we stand back for a minute and we say, okay, I see all of these people on this show, and I'm saying, okay, there's people in here that I definitely want to reach out and connect with. There's people that I want to talk more about. And the other thing about that is networking doesn't have to be 20 people. It can be two people. And I'm a firm believer, like, that if someone connects with me, I'll always reach out to them, especially on LinkedIn. If you reach out to me on LinkedIn, I'll always say, okay, great. Thanks for connecting. Let's jump on a call and talk face to face. And that can be as simple as a 10 or 15-minute call. But now I know you. Now I've put that face to that that picture that's on the screen. Now
Yeah.
we've made that connection, we've started that relationship, and that's how relationships grow. Is by that initial contact is it's the one way that it's the door starts to open, and it's about you keeping that door open and walking through it to the other side.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know,
So anybody that's interested, globalteabreak.com, please go on there and check it out. We
and
meet.
it's free, and it's
Yes,
free as well. This is
it's
the better.
free.
This is the great thing about it. You know,
Yes, it's free. Many of these networking groups are not free, and you don't get as much value. To be honest, I go back, and I even tuned in to say hello when I was on vacation,
yeah,
because I love you guys and I love meeting with you guys. So, anybody that's interested, please go on and have a look at the Global Tea Break. It's a phenomenal group and you'll learn so much.
yeah.
Um, you know,
The third Friday of every month is when we meet up, so it's all
yeah,
good. You know.
yes. Okay, so how do you, and I think, again, we've spoken about this. I can't even ask you, some of
Sorry,
my favorite.
I'm one step ahead. I
No,
have to
that's
move
fine.
my chair. My chair is sinking here, so I have to move it up.
Oh,
Now.
no problem.
As
That's
I'm
fine.
going in, as I'm talking, it's going lower. And I'm going, okay, okay, the chair is lower. And I'm trying with my best hand to try it. But I said, no, that just looks, just say it. That's what happens when you do stuff live. It
Oh,
happens.
that's fine. It's live. There's no going back.
No, no.
Um, let us. Oh, let's just go back to the comments quickly, and then we'll do a wrap up. So, um, Andrea says Alden is amazing. Thank you. Yes, he is. Um, would love to be connected to him as well. Yes, absolutely, Dorothy. You and I need to talk anyway, so we might as well we'll do that. And Raghuram says happy to connect. He's open to new connections. Aw, what a pleasure to listen to you. Thank you, my sister, another sister of mine, Maria. Thank you for tuning in. And again, happy birthday for the other day. Happy to celebrate with you. So thank you. And she says, happy Friday. John says, yes, there is so much power in a quick call.
Yeah.
Um, I will say for me, when I think about doing a 10-15 minute call, I don't know what I can say in those 10 to 15 minutes when it's just meeting the person for the first time.
Okay.
Um, can you
Okay.
tell us a little bit?
On that point. Okay. And this is where I go back to. All right. Okay. So everyone always says, okay, oh, I wouldn't know. Let's talk about, say, going live on LinkedIn. Okay. Oh, I wouldn't know what to say. I wouldn't know how to do it. I wouldn't. Oh, I'd be scared. Oh, I'd make a fool of myself. Right. And I go, okay. So when you go out every day and someone stops you in the street and they says hello to you, do you feel a fool? But oh, I don't know what to say. No, you don't. You speak. You talk. You you
Mm,
interact. Okay.
mm,
Exactly the same with a call. I know you started saying to yourself, "Oh, well, what would I say?" and whatever. But if the person that comes on to me, I'll just go, "How are you?" I says, "So, what do you do?" And it was great to meet you. And that's all it is. It's just a very simple, you know, meet and greet and say hello and say, right, okay, great, we know each other. You know as well as I do, Inga, and you're exactly like me. You will start talking, and next of all, it's 20 minutes, it's a half an hour, and that's where you have to be able to control it and sort of say, okay, right, let's schedule another call,
uh,
because the other side of that is sometimes you may get on with someone, and life isn't a bed of roses. Sometimes you might get on, and you go, oh, really, really, but you have to be but you can
right.
automatically you start to see that. But I'm a firm believer, anyone I connect with on LinkedIn, I I just don't do, oh yeah, if you reach out to me, I'm going to look at your profile, I'm going to see is it of value for me to connect? More so, is it of value for them to connect with me? Or is it just that it's not working? If
Mm,
people are interested in finding out more about that, then I'd say, okay, there has to be a conversation. Say, oh, you didn't. They can send you messages. They can do whatever it is that they can connect with you in some shape or form.
mm,
Like the beauty of it is our email addresses are all on our LinkedIn profiles, or they may be, so you can reach out by email if you haven't connect if they don't connect. So, I don't know. It's a personal thing. I know when I started on LinkedIn first, everyone that connected me, I was connected. I was like, and then about a year ago, or no, I tell a lie now, it was about 2 years ago.
mm,
I went and I culled my whole list. I think I had something like I was connected with 10,000 people, and I brought that back to about, I think it was about 2,500. I literally, that's how strict I became with it. I just went no, because what was happening was I was getting so much stuff that I didn't need, that didn't interest me, and that was of no benefit to me or no benefit to the other person. So I just pulled it back, and now I'm very focused when it comes to stuff like that. And I think it's important to do that.
well, I will say that I've never heard anyone say that.
Mm.
You know, and how do I say? From what I see on LinkedIn, a lot of people actually are after those vanity metrics. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm connected to 15,000, I'm connected to 30,000 people. And, you
you know,
know,
you look at this, you look at it, okay, maybe 5, 7 years ago,
mhm,
if you had 10,000 connections, or you had 25,000 followers on Twitter or something like that, yes, that was the thing. But times have changed,
mm,
and people have moved on, and people are more interested, and especially over the last, I suppose, especially in the last 2 years anyway, is people want genuine connection, and they want quality connection. I don't go on and look at, say, you know someone's LinkedIn and say, oh well, they've only 2,000 connections, I'm not going to connect with them. I go, no. I go, is the quality of is what they're doing interesting to me? Yes, because you don't know who they know. And at the end of the day, I use the analogy of, if I open up a shop in the morning, and I open my doors and 1,000 people walk in and they all look around the store, and then they all walk back out, and I close up for the day and I
mm,
sell nothing. And then
mm,
I open up the next day and 200 people walk in and each one of them buys something. Which is the better customer? Which is the better audience? It's the 200 on the second day. So it's
yeah,
not about the number, it's about the quality of the
mm,
people that are in your network. So that's one of my big things. I don't chase numbers because,
mm,
you know, anyone can go out and buy 5,000 followers, but you'll see it very quickly. You'll see it very, very quickly. But
mm,
all you have to do is look at the people, their posts, and how
yeah,
many people are commenting on their posts, how many people are liking the posts. If you have 10,000 followers and you get one like on your post,
yeah.
alarm bells start to ring.
But that also now is, you have to question it, because when you look at some people's posts, they do have a lot of interaction on their posts, and a lot of it is because they are part of these engagement pods.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
And
of course they are.
engagement pods are a big thing, because a lot of the time those people are not really giving um, proper
They're just
feedback, or
clicking. They're just
yeah,
clicking.
they're just liking, and then they'll just say, oh, great post, and that's it, and they move
They're
on.
clicking. The you've
um,
got you. I think you've got to distinguish. You've got to distinguish what it is. Does it intrigue you? Does it make you want to find out more?
yes.
You know, and not worry about who it is. You speak to your audience. Like I preach it every day is you know the whole idea of social media is to be social, and the
Mm,
media is just the tool that we use to get it out
yes,
there.
the medium. Yeah.
It's the way we do it. It's what we have to do. But we got to understand that
Yes.
it's there for a reason. It's rented space. We're never ever going to own it. But what we're doing is we're just using it. Like, and that's why I always say I had a client a couple of years back, and they had this fantastic business and they were selling so much. Like they were making huge sales on the particular business that they were in. But they spent nearly 10 grand a month on Facebook advertising. Now they were making that back tenfold. But then all of a sudden, and they'd done all their business, everything was done on Facebook. I said to them, "You need a website." Ah, no, I'm grand. I have Facebook, whatever. Facebook came along, decided to click one day to change the algorithms. The whole business just slided down the drain simply because they were using rented space. I said to them, "Go to your have them on your website, direct them to your website. You own that website. That's yours. It's not Facebook's, it's not Twitter's, it's not LinkedIn's, it's whatever. Your social media should be a guide to get you from there to the website." And
Wow.
that's where you need to move from the website then to that in-person call. That's how you build it, and that's how you use it. And these
Yeah.
are things that I see every day, and I try and educate people on them because I think it's very important. I think it's very important that we understand. As much as social media is phenomenal and it's given me a great living, but at the same token, you've got to be real. And I look at the psychology behind social media and the psychology behind everything, and I just find it's so important that we think about what we're doing.
Yeah. Let me just say hello to Tim.
Hey, it's Tim Sohn. Boom. Timbo's in the house.
Awesome
We
to see
love
you,
you,
Tim.
Tim. We do.
Oh my gosh.
I
Amazing.
haven't I haven't any funny faces for him, so I can't put any. I'm gonna have to get me Snapchat right. I'm gonna just to annoy him one day. But great to see you.
Great to see you, Tim. Thank you for tuning in. And Gaurav says the secret to build up a great visibility in LinkedIn is to like posts of others and put comments like your own posts as well as create meaningful posts.
Mm,
And I will add to that by saying yes, but the comments need to be meaningful and valuable.
yeah.
No point in commenting and not adding value because you're just wasting your own time.
Create the social currency. Create the social currency. So important. Like
Yes.
other people's posts, share other people's posts, but don't just share them and just click and say share. Put your viewpoint to them. Put your viewpoint on it. Put your take on it. Give your, as we call it here, your tuppence worth here, and say, and put your own spin on it, and
Yes.
make sure that you're letting the person who's writing the post know that you're saying what you're saying. If you agree or you disagree or whatever it may be, or
Mm,
whatever point of view it is, that's your social currency. Because what you're doing is you're constantly building, yet again, you're building your network out.
yes.
And you're also creating your own social proof then,
Yes.
you know?
Exactly.
So,
Um, so, any final words for the audience, please?
final words would be is to make sure you're always personal when you're online, and make sure you make them connections
Mm,
and reach out and talk to someone today, because there's a lot of people out there that may not have, maybe a bit nervous or a bit, scared or whatever. And they might just need a little thumbs up and
mm.
reach out and help. And I'm delighted if people want to connect with me and chat more. I'm always available. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, so just be good and be happy. And as I always say, be social.
I love it. Thank you, Ellen. And Cheryl says, bye. Thank you for being here, Cheryl. And I will say, before you go, if there's anybody that is afraid of getting started in terms of video on LinkedIn, please reach out to me. I am actually I've decided as a result of my live last week, and if you've watched the beginning of my show, you will know that I hate video, but I know I'm not alone. And I know that there are so many people who are stuck on whether they should or they shouldn't and how they should do it. So I will do a live, not a live, but a video challenge with people to help them get started on LinkedIn. So reach out. We're doing that soon. I know that there are a few that are in the comments that are doing it with me. So yes, please reach out to me. And thank you, Alan, for this wonderful conversation and for your time. I so appreciate you and all the wonderful nuggets that you've dropped for my audience. So if you caught the tail end of this conversation, please go back. You will learn so much from listening to what Alan had to say. So, Alan, thank you very much. I'll send you
No,
back to
thank
the
you.
green room.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to chat with you today.
Thank you. I'll send
Talk
you
to
back
you
to the
soon.
green room and I'll just wrap up and I'll be with you shortly.
No problem.
So, thank you everyone for tuning in. And if you're still watching, you may or may not know that I celebrated my 40th birthday last year. And as a result of that, I was putting out a challenge to my community. And the challenge was to help me celebrate my 40th birthday by donating 40 minutes of your time and doing good for somebody else, or $40 towards my cause. And the cause that I'm supporting is a period poverty event that we were hoping to put on in Cape Town, South Africa. We set a goal to reach 100 girls and women. Unfortunately, we were not able to meet that goal, and so we didn't have the event. I'm letting you know that we're still raising funds for that and we're working towards that goal regardless. So please reach out to me and let me know if you'd like to participate. Um, you may go onto this website, h2hb.com, and click donate in the top right hand corner. Please, it's going towards a good cause. And if you don't know what period poverty is, period poverty is the lack of access to feminine hygiene products. So if you are able to, please donate to that cause. It is a worthy cause. I am a mom to three daughters, and I cannot imagine my girls not having access to something that is so necessary. So thank you again for tuning in. Amazing to have all of you pop by. And be blessed. Have an amazing Friday and weekend. And I'll see you back here next week for another episode of Inspiration from Inga. Take care for now, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.